Hello everyone, welcome to the final Crown Royal Truck Series testing of this off-season. We are here at Daytona for the early season testing before Speed Weeks. We have 37 trucks in the field, an all-time record for this off-season for the testing session. So we'll see who will be going out first, who will be lining up with packs. Of course, you don't really want to do single car testing here unless you're trying to practice for pole day. Otherwise, you want to get in the pack as Jay Jefferson's going to leave immediately. You got a lot of drivers coming out here. It looks like that is Maxwell Fye, Eli Bright, Jeffrey Finguy, and the 57, that's Logan Bradley. So those guys are going to be in a group together. Got another Toyota coming down, and Roger Ray is going to try to jump out in front of him. That's Jacob Rose in the Toyota. The 82 Irving Allison's going to bring himself out. So a lot of drivers coming on out. 30 minutes of testing, like always. Every division except the bottom, the regional series, they have the 30-minute testing session, so we have another 30 minutes here, and then the NSDCA cars will be coming out just about immediately after this one. Finguy already getting passed by Season 2 Crown Royal Truck Series Crown Royal 300 winner Logan Bradley, not in this 57, but in the 94 is now. Finguy's going to go back past him. So we'll see a group. Jay Jefferson probably out here just trying to get that pole day run in because most likely he could be sitting on pole for the Crown Royal 300 in this season. You got the 83 and 71, so that's some Toyota teamwork there coming on out. A big pack of cars there, including the NBM and Monster Motorsports entries. But it'll take a few minutes to get up to speed, start seeing packs form. Got two guys right here, Roger Ray and Jacob Rose, nose to tail. Rose, of course, the owner of BK Racing. They're out here just because it is free for all drivers that are competing in the Crown Royal 300. All trucks, I should say, that are competing in the Crown Royal 300 are able to be out here. Rose already losing a bunch of draft to Roger Ray, so, oh my. That is a big difference in there. The 23 can't even hold in the draft properly with that 84. We'll have to see if he can actually stay up there with them as more drivers come on out. Luke Rainey, Alex Banyaka, they're now working around Austin Murray, Eli Bright, Logan Bradley, Jeffrey Finguy. And the 01, that's Maxwell Fye. That's sure to be a little pack there. 47.137, Jay Jefferson, first one up to speed, but these guys in the draft are going to fly right past him. Logan Bradley with the most draft there. Of course, behind two trucks, he's going to be the one pulling up to the top of the charts so far. Roger Ray up to second quickest as they come on around. You got the 01, the 8 of Eli Bright almost into the outside wall. Now Bradley's down there. They're going to go three wide down the back. That's not really helping the lap times, but Bradley making a big move to the bottom. He has to slow up. The 44, Daniel Kobza coming out onto the track. Had to slow up. No way he was going to get that three-wide move done, so Bradley's lap pretty much destroyed right there. Kev Shear in the middle of no man's land as Antoine Smith and Brandon Morris go fighting together between the Toyota guys. Spurley Tube, the 90 of Casey Mears and Jay Jefferson trying to form a Dodge trio right there with the 47 of Jesse Turner, former Valvoline 200 champion. He's in the back too. Zachary Fitzwater Sr. finally bringing that FAR 59 to a test. It's the only free test, so that's probably why the team really struggling on funding currently. But as they continue on, they're going to hope that this season will be better. It's been a big struggle for the 59 team, and still looming threat of retirement possibly in the future for Zachary Fitzwater, a longtime driver for the NSDCA right there. Archibald Buttersworth bringing the R&D #1 out for his test. This is not going to clear him for eligibility. He drove in the CR300 duels before for, I believe, Smart Motorsports back in Season 2 in the 52 truck. It was either Daytona or Talladega, but he is here. Dylan Young in the 25 as Austin Murray currently sits on top. There is the Silver Wolf Racing, Christian Vargas. No one around him. He has a slower lap time. And now Luke Rainey shoots to the top of the charts, a 44.735. Lap time's not really going to be a showing of speed here because it is draft. It's a super speedway plate race, so it's better. The bigger the line you have, the faster you're going to be, so that's why you'll see guys like underdogs up front, like Jesse Turner and them. It won't necessarily be because of the equipment or the setup, but more likely that they have the draft. Alex Peters now getting a shot from Austin Delgado and Austin Murray back there. Or Austin Johnson in the 77, sorry, as Ethan Head in the 17 drops back to the end of this pack. That's going to be a 4-car draft train right there as they come off of turn number 4. Alex Peters last season in the CR300 dominated that race. 22 out of 40 laps led. Now as they have a new package at Daytona and Talladega that was supposed to spread the field out. Of course, at Daytona, 40 laps, green flag racing, and no pit stops in the CR300 allowed the pack to stay together. And we had some exciting racing, and Alex Peters, 22 laps led. Zachary DeLello was right behind him for the most of that start as well. So Alex Peters was thought to be the race winner last season. He had the car to beat, but no one else who was able to get by him. Zachary DeLello actually was able to get by him. Near the end, Peters dropped just outside the top 5, fought his way back in, just couldn't keep up. Ethan Head pitting down pit road. The SBR plate program working wonders for that team as TRD is the fastest on track right now. Irving Allison in a 2-car tandem with Bobo Jones as they head around this track. And yeah, just anywhere you can get draft. The 2 trucks, 3 trucks, these 5 truck packs are much better for the practice, but these guys mainly running just single file, probably just trying to get used to the draft, get used to how the track is this year. But Luke Rainey right on the back, fastest so far in practice, a great performance there so far. And you also got Stephen Wallace Jr., he's jumped into the top 10, Roger Ray, Eli Bright have jumped into the top 10, Riley Spurley-Tube has jumped into the top 10 as well, so a lot of drivers up here. That was not Riley Spurley-Tube. That was Eli Bright. Sorry, I was distracted by something outside. 23 minutes left in this practice session still, as now the SBR plate program works its magic as Alex Beniaco went to the top. This is a 5-truck, 6-truck pack right here. We might have some good lap times coming in here, though these are pretty underfunded cars. You got the KGM 25, the FAR 59, the one of Archibald Buttersworth, which is from SBR, but it is the R&D truck that they're pulling out for the 300 as well. Not Noah Kim, Christian Vargas in the 18, and that's an old Mercedes. Again, Mercedes pulled their support from the NSDCA. This truck not going to be able to get upgrades at all from this team since the manufacturer is gone. So now he's just starting to drop off of the pack in that number 18 truck. 3-car tandem here, though. Riley Spurley-Tube in the 28, the 90 of Casey Mears, and the 02 of Jeffrey Finguy. Technically, KGM and TSR aren't connected. They do have a relationship because of the alliance between Onjato and TSR. Of course, Evernham and KGM are the satellites of TSR and Onjato, respectively. So technically, they could be working together. Can't really give each other like upgrades or anything like that, but they are working together in the draft, so trying to get that Dodge power out here for the CR300. They have the most trucks. They have the most teams. Dodge has the most teams in the NSDCA. Ford really lost a lot. A good few migrated over to Chevy, but with GDI also coming to Dodge, that brings it to, I believe, 11 or 12 Dodge teams, a lot of them being in the truck series, so we'll have to see if these Dodge teams will be working together during the CR300. There's Jose Perez leading that group as Stephen Wallace Jr. has shot his way to the top of the charts. 44.633. 1 car blowing up. 1 truck blowing up. That's Ethan Head. I believe he just came off a pit road, and the engine gives up on the 17. The SBR plate program showing speed out here. 36th quickest, and the engine is gone. And Jacob Edson currently 9/10 off of what Ethan Head ran. That's probably because he hasn't been in the draft yet, but geez, that 32 team, that Simtech Incorporated team, they need some draft to get some speed out of that number 32 truck. Luke Rainey moving on around. That's Austin Delgado in the 94. He's also, I think, just getting into the draft. You got Alex Beniaco, Roger Ray up here. There is Jacob Edson in that Simtech 32. This is the track that they were hoping to get the test and possibly show some speed at. They do have Jacob Edson, though really 151. Why does that seem so slow merging onto the track? I don't know, but Colton Lane and the 68 of Aiden Smith, so that's 2 Monster Motorsports drivers. They'll be able to hook up maybe with Edson if Edson does let them by, though. Ethan Head now bringing himself down pit road. We got a 4-truck pack right here. Monster Motorsports is Austin Johnson. You got Bobo Jones in the 27, Alex Peters in the 45, and Stephen Wallace Jr. in the 98. And these guys, 2 of these guys are the fastest on track so far. So we got a 4-truck pack, 2 fast trucks in this group right here. Jacob Rose moves his way into the 9th position. This is the best way for these underdogs to get some EUP, especially if you're on a worse team like that 18 team, the 59, even the 47 of Jesse Turner. You got the 23. These guys can put down some fast laps at the super speedways, get themselves that EUP bonus for finishing inside the top 10, which could be great heading into next season. Austin Johnson continuing to lead this pack. It looks like Edson's going to be following into that pack instead of these top two, but they might be caught as well. Four truck group here. That is Alex Beniaco, Roger Ray, Luke Rainey, and 94 of Austin Delgado in that group right there. 53 of Zachary DeLello, actually, and there's another car stopping at the bottom. That's Anderson Reed. He has some front end damage. He might have been spun out in that 41. There's some skid marks, I think, right there that I saw. Anderson Reed, there was some contact here coming off of pit road. Matthew Brown behind him in the 16. Anderson Reed, I guess he's getting up to speed, but Brown tries to go by him, and they make contact. It sends Anderson Reed into the outside wall and spins him down. Great job. Look at that 5-truck pack getting by. Good job by them, but wow, that is bad for Orange Auto. Again, some more torn up equipment there in testing sessions here. KGM both on pit road, Shepherd Racing as well. There is the 00 of Antoine Smith, only 31st quickest. This SBR plate program is fast, but it needs some draft to get any lap time. You can't get out here on your own and try to run fast laps. 5-truck pack here. That's Irving Allison, Jay Jefferson, Eli Bright, Austin Murray. Kev Shearer is going to bring himself down pit road after he just ran a 10th fastest lap time there. It looks like the 2 TSR guys, Bright and Jefferson, 2 longtime veterans of the NSDCA. They are side by side right behind that 82 of Irving Allison. Jeffrey Finguy and Riley Spurleytube all on their own. This 5-truck pack, mostly underdogs, and Jose Perez. All of these drivers in this pack, of course, have never won in the Crown Royal Truck Series. Most of them have not made many starts in the CRTS, as Ethan Head has gotten a new engine and brought that truck back out onto the track. Yeah, 5 slower trucks here, not very powerful in those trucks, so right now they're just pacing on around, doing their best to learn how the draft works. Jesse Turner, the fastest out of all of them, and great job by Christian Vargas getting that number 18 into the top 11, or top 15 right now on lap time. 4-truck pack there, another 4-truck pack there, 3 trucks right there, so no really big major pack has formed yet. Jacob Edson has now been adopted by the Monster Motorsports and NBM group with Austin Delgado, or Stephen Wallace Jr. there in that 98 as they run on around. 3 trucks behind them. There's Colton Yeo, Sebastian Kukulon, and Dylan Young. That's another Dodge trio trying to get their work done here. Antoine Smith pulling up behind Jacob Rose, trying to set his fastest lap now that he has some draft in that 00 truck. So we'll see what this lap is here. Still slower, so we'll have to see if he could pick up the pace. This 4-truck pack is Zachary Fitzwater is actually fallen off on speed against those 4. 2 trucks racing on around. So, yeah, this testing session, you don't think that anyone's going to probably go 3 or 4 wide. There's no reason to do it here. Plus, there's enough space to do it here. It's not a cramped track. You're just trying to get in the draft, so I wouldn't think there'd be a lot of damage as Maxwell 5 really slow through the corner. Brandon Morris now in that 89 truck going to bring up some speed there as they go. But this pack here, a lot of guys in this back group. If they can all get together, they're all just equally spaced apart. If they can get together, we could see a very big pack up here with these TSR guys. But currently right now, Zachary DeLello, your race winner from last season in the Crown Royal 300. He has set the fastest lap. Daniel Kobza is in the 44 this week. He's 2nd quickest. And Logan Bradley 3rd quickest. So Zachary Racing showing the speed they had last season could be coming back this year as they have put themselves to the top of the charts. Stephen Wallace Jr. 4th quickest. Alex Beniaco 5th. Austin Johnson 6th. Eli Bright 7th. 8th is Roger Ray. 9th, Luke Rainey, and 10th, Austin Delgado as they run. Still another half of testing to go. Taking a quick look at the damage report, making sure that no one other than Ethan Head is blown up, and that is true. Poor Ethan Head, right now 37th quickest, hasn't had draft yet because he did blow up and pit early to come down, probably repair something on that car, make some adjustments. But now he will have a group of Alex Peters, Riley Spurleytube, possibly Jeffrey Finguy as they catch up to him. But Ethan Head, slowest on track currently, not under a 45-second lap time yet. This could be an interesting pack. We got 7 guys starting to form up here. That 4-car group of Jesse Turner, Jose Perez, who was the other one? Archibald Buttersworth and Christian Vargas. They're all up here as they are catching Casey Mears, Jacob Rose, and Antoine Smith. This could be nice to get at least a bigger pack formed and going. Last year, we did see a few drivers actually fall off of the pace and not able to recover because there were no cautions in the CR300. So even for these underfunded teams, it could be good just to have some drafting help with maybe 2, 3, or 4 trucks. You could be seeing that in the duels or even in the CR300 if they do make it. Because the underfunded guys usually dropped off the back early on in the race. So they really need their aero development to improve, as Jose Perez is going to pull out and go under Jesse Turner side by side for that 4th position in line as he's trying to better himself in this group of trucks here. And he will try to get past Jesse Turner as they come off the corner. Turner fighting back on the outside, though, in that 47. They're dead even coming down the front straightaway as Antoine Smith begins to pull away in that 00. But I think Perez will be able to edge him out heading into turn number 1. It's now Casey Mears looking to look under Jacob Rose. Not going to happen. No, Perez is going to go under Mears this time. So Perez trying to move himself through this pack as this testing session progresses. And he's actually just set the fastest lap time. Jesse Turner as well. So that group there, you saw they caught this top 3 big draft run there. And Jose Perez pops himself to the fastest on the leaderboard currently, and the 47 of Jesse Turner moves himself into 2nd quickest. Kev Shearer has actually brought that number 24 to the 5th position after he came in for repairs. Zachary DeLello, I believe, coming back out from pit road, that he is in that number 53 truck. As this group of drivers is trying to form up together as well. You got about 7 under a blanket right here. If this group of 3 led by Alex Benyako, nope, they're almost going to run over Zachary DeLello. They might actually, as Benyako's the only one going to get by, but he checked up way too much. Probably not going to catch up to the Anjado and Toyota duo that's going on up here. Zachary Fitzwater bringing himself back down pit road as this group of 6 continues to battle. Jesse Turner now looking for a move on Antoine Smith. Not going to happen. Just outside of the line. No, he might dive it in, and yes, he will. So Perez and Turner working very well to make their way through the pack as Antoine Smith has been passed by both of them. The 90 of Mears going wide, and okay, Antoine's pulling it down to pit road. That's why he must have been letting those guys by real quick. 3-car tandem here, 2 of the GMC guys, and Kev Shearer wedged in the middle for Rockstar Energy Racing as he put down the 5th fastest lap time there. Austin Johnson just ahead of him, 10th quickest right now, and Bobo Jones in the 27 doesn't seem to be hooking up this draft very well. He's only 28th quickest with a 44.9 second lap time. But Bobo Jones, NBM, happy to be full-time yet again. Stephen Wallace Jr. has moved on from this team as he goes back to CFRO, so they had to pick up Cody Goforth, who was in the number 24 last season. Now the Kev Shearer replacing him as Cody let himself go in the middle of this offseason. And right now, Bobo Jones not running too hot, but happy to be in the draft. And there it goes. There goes the engine on the 27. Must have been running too far in the draft. He was stuck right behind that 24, and that's going to be another engine going for North Border Motorsports. And he said, he was quoted before Daytona weekend, he was so happy that there have been no incidents for NBM. There's been no mechanical or crashes. And right there, the engine goes on the 27. Heartbreaking there for Bobo Jones and North Border Motorsports as he takes to the grass to keep it off the apron or keep it off the track. But that engine goes as well. You got to be watching those temps as you're in the draft because you see right here, even if you're maybe half a car length behind, there's just no clean air going to that radiator, cooling off the engine. You got to poke your nose out every so often, do some swaps in line. And right there, it looks like that cost that 27 a new engine. So North Border Motorsports brings it down pit road. We got a 4-truck group right here. There were 3 Dodges and Austin Murray in the middle of this one as Jeffrey Finguy is doing everything he can in that 02 truck to stay up front. Looking back at the leaderboard, doesn't seem like anything new has happened other than the CFRO guys jumping back inside the top 10. Antoine Smith bringing his 00 back out. This group of drivers, the 18, the 1, they've kind of fallen off of this front group, which is Jose Perez and Jesse Turner and maybe Casey Mears. They head around. Jacob Rose there as well. A lot of guys on pit road. Let's go ahead. 10 minutes left. We can talk about some of the guys where they are in the standings. So Jose Perez, Jesse Turner, fastest two so far. Turner, of course, is a super speedway guy. He won the Valvoline 200 2 years ago. Fantastic to see him up front in that Onge Auto equipment. Zachary DeLello, your defending CR300 winner. He is third quickest. Daniel Kobza, who has shown shown a lot of speed here in these testing sessions. He is fourth quickest. Kev Shearer sits fifth quickest. Sixth quickest is Logan Bradley, who won the CR300 2 years ago. Seventh quickest, Austin Murray. Eighth quickest, Austin Delgado. Ninth quickest, Stephen Wallace Jr. And 10th fastest is that SBR plate program of Alex Benyako, who has, again, not been in many tests this offseason, but coming out here at Daytona, putting down a pretty good lap time. Austin Johnson sits 11th, Eli Bright 12th, Matthew Brown 13th, Jay Jefferson 14th, and 15th is Roger Ray, 16th Luke Rainey, 17th Archibald Buttersworth in that R&D program, so even the R&D truck has some speed out of it as they come off the corner right there. You see that group of four. 18th Alex Peters, 19th is Maxwell Fye, and 20th in the 28 is Riley Spurley too. 21st quickest is Christian Vargas for Silver Wolf Racing. 22nd quickest Jacob Rose. 23rd quickest is the 25 of Dylan Young. 24th quickest Irving Allison. 25th quickest Ethan Head. After that engine failure early on, he's finally got himself into the draft. Kukulon sits 26th. That Sauber Racing Team not very strong on the super speedways outside of Talladega, really. 27th quickest is 21 of Colton Yo. 28th is Bobo Jones after his engine failure as well. 29th Anderson Reed, and 30th is the 90 of Casey Mears. 31st quickest is Colton Lane. 32nd, Aiden Smith. So Monster Motorsports really has no speed in the draft outside of Austin Johnson. 33rd quickest, Zachary Fitzwater. 34th quickest, Jacob Edson. 35th is Antoine Smith. Very slow in that 00. Must have been the pack that he was driving too. They didn't have too many fast trucks in that. 36th, Jeffrey Finguy, and at the back, Brandon Morris in that 89. Now Morris, again, this is the first time since he broke his legs in Mountain Dew Custom Series qualifying last year after his qualifying crash. Sidelined him for the season and the Valvoline 200, so I don't know if he's really pushing it in that 89 truck or just trying to get some data out here as in the draft, but that 89 team not very strong. Of course, Diego Yepes really outperformed his ride last season, just scoring one top 10 for the team last year. I believe that was at Pocono, but Morris at the back of this pack just doing everything he can as he sets a new personal best for this testing session. Just riding around at the back of the pack, probably going to be struggling this year, but they are full-time and do have a charter because of because they ran last season with Mike Cook and Diego Yepes the last 2 years. So Shepherd Racing, again, full-time in that 89. Don't have to worry about qualifying. They are in on a charter position. Be wide up here almost as Austin Delgado is trying to throw it to the inside of Bradley and Matthew Brown. Ray and Bradley on the outside trying to get some momentum coming off of the corner there on that outside line. A two-car tandem on the outside actually can beat a four-car group on the inside, especially because a longer line means if a checkup happens, it really stacks up a line. And you see Bradley there going to pull away from Delgado, might be able to clear him heading into turn number 1 and 2, and that he does as Morris is going to work his way under the 84. Morris now moves himself up to the 32nd quickest lap time, as now the slowest on track is the 02 of Jeffrey Finguy, if we can find him there. But you're noticing a lot more packs starting to form up as this testing session goes on. The slower cars, the single cars out in the packs start to fall back, be caught by other drivers. So there you see more packs forming. You got this 5-truck draft train there as they're going to go up the track. I think trying to avoid those two going on to pit road, or Morris going on to pit road there in that 89. There's Jose Perez back out as we got another group of cars. Ethan Head, Aiden Smith up here trying to get some fast lap times in since they have not had much drafting help this testing session so far. But continuing to lead is Jose Perez, Jesse Turner, Zachary DeLello, Daniel Kobza, Kev Shearer, your top 5. Top 10 has not changed, and I don't know if we'll see much more changes in the drafting as they go on around, but a two-truck tandem here of Stephen Wallace Jr. and Austin Johnson as we come to the final 5 minutes of this testing session. Big pack right here as well. 4 guys on the outside, 2 on the inside with Turner and Kev Shearer down there, as Mears is going to continue to run that outside line. Interesting to see there. Irving Allison in the middle of this. SBR was very strong during Speed Weeks last year. Brady Burkhart, Irving Allison, Alex Benyako ran very strong. And, of course, Burkhart was the pole sitter last season. Of course, though Brady not in the trucks anymore. He graduates to the Cup Series testing, which will be on after this. So we can finally get ready for the Speed Weeks. Be prepared for Molson Modified qualifying live from Homestead in just a few days' time as well. The Dr. Pepper Dash Series live from Homestead as well. Those teams starting to get their cars loaded up and making the long journey down to Florida. Going to be entertaining to watch those guys battle it out at Homestead like every year. We've seen some exciting races, the heat races, the LCQs, all entertaining there for the DPDS, and now the MMS also gets that format for their Homestead race. Colton Lane coming to pit road. Kukulon almost about to run him over. Taking a look again, no one else has had damage, as it looks like Lane might have just been coming off a pit road. That's why he's so slow. So he drops to the back of this group, trying to get himself back in that. So we got a couple packs formed on the track. Couple guys just running around here, doing their best to get some practice in. And a few of these guys will be heading over to their Cup cars right after this. I believe Jay Jefferson is one of them. Aiden Smith as well gets to test that Monster Motorsports number 95. Bobo Jones in his 27. So a lot of guys from the trucks going to be running the double header for the Crown Royal 300 and Sundrop 500 as well. Some of them will be heading to Homestead next week for those races in the MMS and DPDS. And I believe Noah Kim and Gatlin Downey are one of the two. Those two, I believe, are trying to run all five. As Alex Benyako's into the outside wall. There's a spin, and it's Casey Mears in the 90. That's another incident for the KGM 90 in the last 2 weeks of testing, and he's just going to merge right back onto the track. So hopefully this pack here will be able to avoid him. But a spin there in that number 90 as they came through the corner. I was wondering why Alex Benyako was in the outside wall. He probably saw the smoke and just took evasive maneuvers. And it's going to be off the back. Antoine Smith merging up. Mears tries to slow it down and runs into the back of Antoine Smith into the outside wall. Spins it down the racetrack, and that is some slight contact with the 90, a slight contact to the 00 as well. If we can go find Antoine, if he's still actually running around here. Do not see him anywhere, so they might have brought that truck back down pit road as they go around. There's 5 cars right there in a little pack, another 5-6 cars right there in this pack. Jay Jefferson bringing it on out, but only 2.5 minutes left in this testing session. These guys trying to get their last little bits of drafting practice in, hoping that they don't end up crashing the cars. They're all trying to test different lines, trying to test different ways to get around people, so should be an entertaining Speed Weeks up ahead. Probably 2 weeks of Speed Weeks in all honesty, so that's going to be interesting to see as well. And the other news, the Clash not running the trucks this season. They will be running those brand new Cup cars. The field has been set for that, so we're excited to see the Cup cars take to the track in their first actual race being the Clash the weekend before the Crown Royal 300, Sundrop 500, and the rest. Should be entertaining to see those guys race in the Clash this season. Jose Perez looking to end this session as the top on the charts with just about 1.5 minutes remaining. Great job by GDI there to get some drafting experience, get some drafting speed there. As you see the ZR guys trying to get some more speed. Sebastian Kukulon, Riley Spurley have jumped into the top 10, as well as Daniel Kobza, Colton Yo. That pushes now both CFRO guys out, as well as SBR. So the SBR plate program doesn't look like they have speed this time around. None inside the top 10. Highest one currently is Alex Benyako, only 14th quickest. So this could be the end of the SBR plate program meme in the NSDCA. Roger Ray in that 84, he's here to get his eligibility for Daytona. So this is the first time he's been running a super speedway in a truck. Entertaining to see him out there right now running, though. 16th quickest, not too shabby for the champion's equipment in that number 84 truck. Here's Riley Spurley. He's going to be merging into this pack here of Alex Benyako, Alex Peters, and Daniel Kobza. Those guys putting down some bad fast lap times there. Another group there. They're 3 wide up here. Kev Shearer, Jay Jefferson, Irving Allison, as now Jacob Rose is going to bring himself to pit road. That's going to end his testing session. 18 all alone. 26th quickest for Christian Vargas. That's pretty good for that 18 team to actually have some speed. They need to race their way in to the Crown Royal 300. And let's take a look. You got the that team has to race their way in. So does the 25 and the 90. They'll have to race their ways in. The 21 has to race in. As well, the 71 of Luke Rainey will have to race their way in. The 02 if they enter, the 23 if they enter. So a couple open trucks trying to get that practice for the duels here, because that's going to be the thing that they need to do. They need to either hammer away at the duels or the qualifying to lock their way in, because most of them do not have charters, as Fitzwater almost got spun there by the 8 of Eli Bright, and as well Zachary Fitzwater has to race his way into the biggest race of the season as well. So a lot of open trucks out here trying to get that speed. The fastest of the open trucks being Colton Yo in that 21, as well the 25 of Dylan Young, 7th quickest there. And looking down the order, it looks like none of the other open trucks, all the way to 22nd is Luke Rainey, 24th is Archibald Buttersworth, 26th Christian Vargas, 27th Jacob Rose. And it looks like the slowest ones out of that, Jacob Edson in the 32nd position, Casey Mears in the 33rd position, Zachary Fitzwater 35th, and the slowest on track currently, Jeffrey Finguy, 37th quickest there. Big pack of guys coming down the front straightaway. This will end the testing session right here, and it will be Jose Perez taking the top spot with Jesse Turner, Zachary DeLello, Riley Spurleytube, and Sebastian Kukulon, your top 5 after testing. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to the CRTS testing. Sundrop Cup Series coming in just in a little bit, a couple minutes time actually here, but maybe an hour or two in universe, so those guys can take their rest. But thank you guys so much for tuning in to the Crown Royal Truck Series testing. We'll see you guys next time on the NSDCA.